Hi, it's Tessa with Hip Over 50. So if you've been following my channel at all, you know that I'm a little bit of a hybrid. I am both British and American, and with a little smidgen of Canadian thrown in there. So I was born in England. My parents emigrated to Canada when I was just a little tiny tot. Then I went on to the US, and now I'm back living in the UK. So one of the things that I love about living here is the healthcare. Yes. And I've talked before about my NHS experience and the fact that to me it seems free, and I've been disabused of that notion. But yes, you know what? It's not so much calling it free because, yes, of course, it has to be paid for by some means. But guess what? Whether you work or not, you have health care. Whether you make $1 million or not, you have health care. If you make $2,000 a year, you have health care. You contribute into it as much as you are able to afford by what you either earn or what you spend. So, yeah, it's technically not free, but it is free of anxiety, free of worry, let's put it that way, compared to the US. So I'm getting ready to make a little trip back to visit the US, and it sort of brought to mind the differences between the two healthcare systems. So, this is why I think the NHS is still awesome. I know that it's not probably run as well as it used to be, but then very few things are. But to me, it's still quite a remarkable process. Yes, I know it's probably not managed very well, but then that is what management is all about. It's kind of the death of a lot of good ideas. But the fact is, if you are trying to get health care, or if you want to take care of yourself, if you have a health issue in the US, you are going to have to spend a pretty penny. Right now, single coverage for health insurance, just insurance alone in the US, is running about $8,400 a year. That's about $700 a month, folks. That's just for one person. That probably translates to about 550 or 600 pounds, roughly, depending on the exchange rate. So even if you have an employer-sponsored healthcare plan, where that means the employer picks up, a good chunk of the tab, you could still be on the hook for about $500 a month. Yes, $500 a month coming out of your paycheck just for insurance. That doesn't even begin to pay for the actual health care. And if you're a family, it's even worse. You are on the hook for roughly $24,000 a year. That's $2,000 a month. Folks, that could be a mortgage payment. And again, it's just the insurance. It's not even the health care itself. Because even if you have that lovely health insurance plan, you have to worry about something called a copay. Now, a copay is traditionally $30.70. So you, as the payer, are on the hook for about 30% of your bill. And the health insurance company picks up 70%. So even though you have health insurance, they don't pay for the whole thing until you meet your deductible. Now, depending on your deductible, that could be $3,000 a year, $5,000, $10,000. This is something that is part of your health insurance plan. And typically people choose a higher deductible to get their monthly premiums down. So that 30% that you're kicking in, you keep kicking that in until you reach your deductible, and then technically the insurance company takes over and pays 100% after you've met your deductible. But that is just, like I said, just the beginning of it all. I mean, your doctor or your healthcare provider or your local hospital all have to be in the network that the health insurance company agrees to play nicely with when it comes to paying. So you have to think ahead. Oh, can I go to this doctor? Will my health insurance cover them? Have they been approved by the health insurance company? Some health insurance networks only allow you to go within their network. So it gets very confusing, and it's very time consuming. Oh, and let's not even talk about pre-existing conditions. So let's say you actually have a problem that you need to take care of. Let's say it's like diabetes or something. Well, that's kind of like a black mark on you because the health insurance companies don't want to cover you. It's kind of like being a 19-year-old who needs car insurance. They don't want to know you. So they'll either refuse coverage or they will only cover you for a limited amount on that pre-existing condition. So it's kind of counterintuitive because the whole reason to have healthcare is to take care of that pre-existing condition, right? And to have the peace of mind that knowing that you can take care of it. I mean, when you're a diabetic, you can't mess around with that stuff, can you? And the average medical debt in the U.S. A couple of years ago was tapped out at about $12,500 a year. Debt. That's debt. That's what the average person owes to health insurance companies or to doctors. That's about 10,000 pounds a year. That's a lot of money. So that's the debt that you incur on top of paying your health insurance premiums. That's the kind of thing. It's not a given. It's more like a gotcha when it comes to getting health insurance in the US. And in fact, 2/3 of bankruptcies in the US are tied to medical debt. It's just, you just never know what you're going to be on the hook for. You can go in for a simple thing, and next thing you know, you're getting a bill. Like a friend of mine, he cut their finger really badly, goes into emergency clinic, comes out with a bill of $3,000. I mean, they charge you for the aspirin, they charge you for the Band-Aid, they charge you for this guy to come in and give you a little shot of this, and they charge you for that person. So it is rife with anxiety. And that is the last thing you need when you're trying to take care of your health. I mean, I think that is why I don't care if the NHS is not run the way it used to be. It is still an invaluable resource because, like I said, no matter what you pay into it, you still have the peace of mind of knowing that you've got health care when you need it. I mean, about a year or so ago, probably it's been a couple of years ago now, on a bank holiday weekend, I passed out in a restaurant. Great way to impress the date. But anyway, I passed out. I think this was on a Saturday. And on Sunday, I mean, I recovered enough to go home. And on a Sunday, I thought, well, I probably should find out why that happened. So I called up something 111. It's kind of like 911 in the US, only it's not for emergencies. It's basically a triage number. You can call if you need immediate assistance or have a question or need help. And if it's on a long weekend like this was. So I couldn't get through to my GP. I called 111. And they chatted me through, talked to me, got back to me. So again, this was on a Sunday, and they called back and says, we've set you up. We'd like to get you checked out. We've set you up with this appointment at this facility, 30 minutes away from your home. Can you make that appointment? I said, sure, I'll make it. So I go, and now I'm on the Monday, the bank holiday weekend itself, or the bank holiday. And the guy that helped me was so nice. And he was a doctor from the north that had come all the way down to the southwest where I live to fill that slot, on the aftercare or the on-call slot for our region. And that's just the kind of thing that people here go above and beyond. And I think when healthcare is not tied to money, people are allowed to be their true caring selves. They're allowed to do what they got into the profession to do, is to care for people and take care of people and listen to people and follow up. Now, if you have a serious medical condition and you're on a waiting list or something, I'm very sorry to hear that. I feel like I've been very fortunate. Maybe my area of the country is a little more on the ball. I don't know. I haven't needed any serious medical care, but I know when I've needed it, it's been there, and it's priceless. So there you go. If you're American, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're British, I hope you do appreciate the gem and the jewel that is the NHS. I was born here, so I came back to live here, and I went to the first GP that I rolled into, and they looked me up, and there I was. I already had a number assigned to me. So yes, I really love it, and I hope you appreciate it too and are grateful for it. So there you go. I hope you are all happy, healthy, and well, and thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. So bye for now.